Alright, so we're going to go back to like no-gi this week, specifically going over side control stuff. Few things though. Whenever you're within side control, really within any dominant position on top, what we have to split apart is what is the difference between me actually controlling for submission versus actually pinning. So pinning, and this is just a theory that more judo and wrestler people are actually, that they will all actually get it. Whenever I'm actually pinning you, I'm basically inhibiting your movement. So that within judo, you can't get to at least a half guard or get to like a guard and actually get right back up. In wrestling, you should not be able to actually turn down and then actually get up though. Okay, so basically, if I'm like right here and then go ahead and move good, I'm in control mode at this point. I'm not trying to hit submission yet. And the reason why I'm not trying to hit submissions yet is because he's being right now chewed buck wild. When he's chewed buck wild, for you to go for any type of some level of spacing. And whenever you do your subs and all, the spacing will be a calculated risk. It's something that you actually have to do, obviously. But whenever he's already within transition within movement, it's dangerous though, because again, he's moving around. I don't have control over his whole body actions here. So it's a little bit better off for me to attack submissions more when he's being compliant, whenever he's not really actually moving around quite as much. So whenever he's bridging and bucking and all that, the mode that you should be going into is pinning mode. Pinning mode meaning I'm going to make sure that I can basically stick to his chest to chest, and go hip to hip, so that I can actually block him out, so that I can keep him down here. So what the analogy that I normally use is that it's like if you're playing one of the new Mortal Kombat games or one of the new fighting games in general. They got a power meter this way. I really want to drain their power meter down before I go for the kill. Okay, now if I actually get here and he's not really moving around much, it's more small movement stuff that we are actually dealing with, that's fine. I can then go for subs. But if he's really being buck wild, his hips are moving everywhere, he's really trying to actually shrimp out, he's trying to really bench press me off, etc. I'm personally not going to do submissions then. I'm gonna act like I'm surfing and I'm just gonna ride the wave though. So whenever we get here, okay, if I'm gonna go pin mode, we will go more pin mode stuff probably on Friday. Wednesday, we'll do more of the question and the answer session again. But whenever I wanna really go pin mode, I'm gonna have my ribs cutting to his ribs. Specifically, right here is where his low ribs are, and then right here is in where the belly starts. I wanna get my side right here, pushing in essentially, so that as he breathes, I'm constantly sinking in. I'm constantly sinking in. I'm constantly sinking in. So if I'm actually here, look, I'm not going to continue with the chest to chest here. This is fine for me passing. So if I'm passing his guard, I really have to get some level of chest to chest contact. But for me to start pinning, I have to use a little bit more of the ribs instead of me using the whole surface area of the chest. Why? Because what normally happens, and this happens to everybody, even like around up in the black belt, if I really concentrate on really pinning chest to chest right here tight, and I'm caring more about his shoulders, if I relax at any point in time, I'm not really blocking out his hips. Now, people will say that you're blocking out hips because your because your knees here. It is in theory, but the problem is if I'm really caring more about pinning him down right here, walk your legs out. So stop. You can already look and see how he's made spaces like my own hip line. So go ahead and insert your knee in now. And now he can then start getting his guard back. And there's a lot of people, what happens again is that they get so intent on really being chest to chest right here that they completely ignore this part. Okay, so you have to be able to really analyze the situation. So now, if I'm going pin mode, and there's a variety of pins that we are going to work our way through eventually, but let's just go with like the standard here. Whenever I'm here, okay, I don't want to push myself too far over right here, because if I do that, I'm taking, like this side, if you look, I'm making a gap here. My knees right is here, but I'm making this gap so he should basically feel that he can start moving away, so he can actually lean and roll his hips right back in, and then go right back in here. So come right back, please. So instead, whenever I go pin mode, and if you look, even with like the live toes here, so I was kind of moving out here. Even with like the live toes here, me being on my knees and all, it's good, but for really good pin though, not necessarily. Because the ground now is still actually taking on about 60% of what my overall weight is. So we get back over here now. Whenever we're here, and whenever I go pin mode, again, you see how there's this gap. My ribs are not here. All I do is extend my leg, and I drop my knee down, and then I turn my ribs to him. Now, if you look, this gap's gone. I'm keeping a hip-to-hip connection here, but he's bearing way more of the weight, and I'm pushing myself into his rib. I'm not pushing myself over to the chest. This leg right here does not stay down. Except we just open it up here. So let me just be here now. Now, even actually right here, if you look, I'm turning myself into him. His body stops me from turning more. This is the actual pin. So this is why if you guys ever have instructors as well for judo and wrestling at your BJJ academies, they'll complain about you having your knees on the ground. The reason being, whenever I'm pinning, if my knees are on the ground's bearing part of my weight, not him. My toes can be on the ground. Obviously, that should drive it to him. But if my knees are on the ground, the full weight of my body is then not actually on him. And again, you have to be pushing into him. You're not pushing over, you're pushing into his ribs. So whenever we're here, again, and whenever I extend out and I drop myself down and we're here, he now isn't feeling how I'm cutting into his body. Even if he tries to get a half guard back, go right ahead, I can walk my hips into him. So if you just look at the leg here, I'm walking my hips into him and stopping. If he's really slick, I'll even put my foot flat here, and we'll do it this way, but still, my knee is not touching the ground at all, and now the weight's on his hip, and then it's pushing his hips away, so there's no half guard to actually be had. So he can try to actually bail out all that he actually wants to, it still is going to be negated then. So again, that's that difference right there in terms of whenever I'm pinning you versus if I'm going to actually tap you. And again, if you want more stuff on pinning, just ask, and then I'll go over that later on. Because how I pin, both with the gi and my no gi, is the exact same. All the pinning mechanics are basics of judo. Because in judo especially, we have to be able to hold a person down flat for about 20 plus seconds. If the referee is good, roll-wise, I've got to hold him down for 20 seconds. So because of that, if you get a really good judo person on top of you, just like a really good wrestler, it's hard to actually get out from underneath if they pass the guard. So let's go over subs though, because we're really only going to hit 3 subs today. First one now. So once we go over the whole pin stuff and then he stops, that's when I'll put both knees down now. Because now I've got to be a little bit more mobile so I can actually react now. And again, the only reason why I will now go to let both knees is only because he's actually settled his butt down. So because he's actually settling himself down, that's when I will go right ahead, and then I will then go into submission mode. So now we're not within pin mode, we're within submission attack mode. So first thing for me though, I like to always isolate out this arm, okay? So if he's pushing back into me right here, it's hard at times for me to spiral walk myself up. Go ahead and actually push it out now. So push your arm right back in. Yeah, exactly. So that can actually be hard. So what I do is this: I take my ear and then I go to his ear. And as I'm leaning, it lets me now flare the shoulder out a little bit more on the elbow. Can actually get the elbow to come up here. Again, if I'm right here and then he has his arm within my trap, so go ahead and actually put it like as the trap now. Right here. So we're here, and then if I'm really trying to actually push forward, depending on the person, some people are still strong within their frame here. So you may try this just hard. but it's only because my head is basically within the T position here. So I go ear to ear, and then it lets me flare my shoulder out more. So now the crook of the arm right here, this is where his elbow actually hits, and it lets me actually manipulate his arm up more. So this is where the whole biomechanics comes into place here. So once we actually get here though, I always want to make sure that his elbow goes past his shoulder line. And the reason being, if you lift at all, you know then that if you're going to lift, your arms are then just going to go straight up and all. But you know this, if we were to take you to the bench press, nobody actually bench presses this way with their elbows above their shoulders. It just doesn't actually work out for us. It's got to always actually be within. So the closer the elbows are to the body, the better. Both whenever you're actually bench pressing your push-ups, whatever. So because of that, I really want to make it biomechanically weak. So now I'm taking his elbow past his shoulder line. So we're here again. Being here, head to ear, right here. Now we go flat here. This hand now, it chops up, kind of like I'm trying to scratch my beard. And then we go on the inside of his armpit right here. They should recognize this spot, because from right here, if I slide my left knee up, my right knee comes up right here, I can punch him pretty easily here. And there's not really much he can actually do. Okay, so this is a really good control position here. Now, let's go over a few subs here. First one, and I'll just show this right now. This is one of my favorite setups here. Because we're actually right here, his neck's careened up. He does not want to stay here. So because of that, I'm going to give him his wish. I'm going to go palm up with this hand. Okay, so just kind of get that hand out right now. Sorry about that. No, but I'm going to now go palm up and we slice in. Okay. Now, or sorry, no, I'm not going to actually go palm up. I'm going to keep palm down, but then we cut it right back in. And as we do that, this hand goes inside right here to here. Now, from here, I simply just walk back and I pull my elbows in. This gives me a baseball bat show, no-gi. I'm bringing the elbows in, and I'm pulling both elbows straight in. So I'm pulling right now into his carotid artery right here. This is not a neck crank. It looks like it can be a neck crank, but neck cranks happen whenever you're grabbing the crown, whenever you're pulling this way. I'm pulling through his carotid artery here, so it's not going to be a crank. So again, we're here already, and because again, most people, they don't like this, because look, if I throw that elbow up at all, and even if it's turned, you got to be careful, because this could be considered cranking if I do this right here, because now I'm really attacking his spine. So I'm not going to actually do it. I barely flare the elbow up. People always want to get their chin up to actually stop this. They really want to send their neck back that way. When that actually happens, we go 1-2. Okay? Now I can walk and then pull the elbows in and then pull straight in. Or I can cut my leg back this way and turn. And then that's going to be then your old school baseball bat show. So that's option 1. Option 2, though, because I still love getting to this spot here. Option 2, though, if you don't want to do this sort of stuff right here, simply attack his arm now. He can't get his arm away from me. So from here, we grab a hold at his wrist and we pin that down. Now we transfer down right here. Now, I think I actually did this within a previous video, but let's go over this again. I don't want to go palm up and come in and grab a hold, because if you look at his face, it's not really engaged. Move your shoulder now. See that? So we actually go back. Once we get this here, you want to go palm up, because as I come up, it's not until my knuckles come right here to his wrist and now turn. And if you look at his face right now, his shoulder is activated. Okay, because now I'm basically right underneath his shoulder, and I'm locking him out as I'm pinning his arm down with the opposite hand. So if I go this way, nothing actually is then locking in. If you go palm up though, and you make sure that your hands that your knuckles are going over your wrist, kind of like you're actually giving somebody something, If you go this way, it automatically activates. If we turn right here, it activates. Now whenever we grab a hold, it definitely activates. Now we rev both hands. For most people, you can tap them out right here. Okay. For others, watch the right elbow now. This is my variant where I don't really take the hand outside of like his head. I can loop up first and then circle down second. Okay. And if you look again, I'm not taking the arm out from being underneath his head here. So this is a very, very tight sub here. So the tighter your shoulders, the faster people will normally tap. What also happens though is that it also stops a lot of the shoulder rotation that normally happens, that lets people that are a little bit more flexible actually get out of this position here. So next one though, from here. Yeah, if people somehow are very, very flexible, they're not tapping, and you find a few people like this every once in a while, that's when we will keep the same position on the Americana, but then we will then hip switch out, meaning we're here, and we've already actually setting all this up here, and we're here, and we come through, and you're like, man, this guy's is not tapping here. Again, normally if you're not tapping, I rev, I'll let my elbow come out, and now watch, I paint the mat with the elbow, bring it back, and most people will tap now. Sometimes that's not gonna actually happen though. So what we do is this. From here, I extend my legs right back out. We hip switch through this way, and now I drag the elbow back this way. And you can actually make it work this way too, okay? So again, we're here. I'm trying to make this work. I'm even peeling it back, but it's just not working. And then I'm revving on both sides. Both sides, I'm trying to make this action happen. So don't keep your wrist this way. Get them both this way. I'm trying to make this work, but it's just not working out though for me. And the problem is, the more I take the elbow away, he can actually fit his knee into the space potentially, and he'll be able to start getting out exactly. So because of that, I've got to make sure then that I actually keep this pin connection. So this is where I basically go slightly pin mode, while I still actually have the isolation on the submission though. So that's why whenever we're here, we're like, okay, cool. We extend out, knee comes in, we're sliding up right here, and now we just pull. And this will be enough of a tap here. Now, last one. So we're gonna go over what take our north-south variant, and on the north-south variant, what he's gonna do is he's gonna use this inside forearm to help push on my hip line. Because what he can typically do, if we're here, right? And let's say if I'm really concentrating, I'm trying to get this. If he can push, he can lengthen himself out. Go ahead, and now he can start getting his knees in, and now a guard actually happens. So because I know that happens, I'm going to hip switch through, and then I'm going to actually attack his neck line. Meaning, we're here. Okay. Let's go right here. And we're here, and he's pushing through. As he pushes, look, I turn myself out now. And now watch the hands. The hand transfers. We go one right here, two, and I'm grabbing hold of his elbow. This lets me actually sit through here. As I sit through here, you're looking, you may go, well, David, we'll just stick with the Americana here. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I would rather just attack his neckline now. So now we go from the tricep to going over his trap this side. So we go from 1 to 2, but now we switch hips again. Here. Now my hand goes towards his hip, and I push myself back. Okay? Now, whenever I get here, we're doing a north-south choke that we have the arm in. So the mechanics of it become different. I'm going to go over the north-south choke a little bit more on Wednesday, but I really want to go over the arm in one today. The grip that I want is just to stay here. The arm that goes underneath his neck, I want that hand to be palm down. I want the other one to be palm up right here. And you lace it this way. Okay? So I really want that grip. So I want to have the hand right here. Now, if it's hard for me to get the grip here, if it's just hard for me to get this lace grip, what I do typically is so again, if it's just hard for me just to make this actually happen, I put my hand out and then I put my forehead down, and then we walk up into him. That opens up space. Now we can actually take this lace grip. Now the elbow goes down right here. Now, I'm not going to squeeze here at all. The trick is for me to go at a diagonal that way. So all I do, flatten out, and I walk into his neckline. You just pull him out of his hole, and there's no squeeze here. So, last time. And again, you can do that one and you're not squeezing your biceps, you're not engaged, your triceps are not engaged at all. We're just gonna lace. We barely pull the elbows in, and we simply just walk in on the side that we actually have our arm on. Because right here, his arm is then pushing his shoulder into his carotid artery. My arm is on the opposite side, so we have a crushing effect on those sides. So again, here, we've already set this one up, but he's starting to actually push out. Again, extend your leg that's actually near his hip, turn your hip to him. So you see by doing that right there, it's very, very hard then for him to be able to get a half guard back or get his guard back in general. Now we switch our grips. We go 1 to 2. You clear this arm always. Sometimes you can just clear it with your legs. I like using my arm as an insurance policy to make sure I'm pulling up now towards my ribs here. And now we sit through. So now we are within a classical case of good timing here. But from here now, the hand then goes all the way to his trap to secure me down. And now I switch my legs again. If you look, it passes that arm over. Once we come here, this hand that's on the trap, it starts to slink underneath his neck. My opposite hand then goes to his hip right here. Now look, I'm pushing myself down right here, and I'm trying to see if I can connect the hands. If I cannot connect the hands early, that's fine. I make my hand go palm up, grabbing the hole right here at his shoulder. Look right here. I'm gonna grab a hold of his shoulder, and now we post our hand out. We post our head down. I'll walk myself up, and I turn myself in to start turning him up now. Now we can go palm to palm with the lace grip. Put the elbow down. We come down here. Now, I don't want to be too high up on his chest. I want to be more on his shoulder. So we just walk ourselves down, and then from here, there's no squeeze at all. I'll pull my elbows in, and simply just walk into him. Out. And then the jumps on. Now, last one with this, I'll just give this as like a bonus for how today is. If you don't feel comfortable with that one, but we're already here, and we're here too. That's fine. And we have this trap here. We're still gonna actually hit our hip switch over, and our hand comes underneath. But now, as my hand comes right here, I'm gonna now roll my hip line to the ground here. So as I roll my hip down, my head comes down. Now look at this side right here. I'm pulling this hand back, and now we're lacing it with the grip, and we're going to walk into his hips and pull him up. From here, we go into a darce. And on the darce, you want his neck to be in the crook of the arm, so pull his head up, shoot your hand out, and then chop up. Grab a hole, and as we put the head down, pull your inner elbow up. You got it. If you need a little bit of extra oomph on it, spread your legs, and then drop forward with your hips, and then it becomes stronger. So again, off of this one as well. So from here, again, we are already here. You already know how to actually get here, so I'm not going to go back through that one again. We're here, and maybe I just don't feel comfortable with that one, even though that arm in dorsiflexion that's extremely strong is deceptive, so I'll always say to actually go over it though. But from here, hand goes to his trap, and if you're worried about him giving the elbow to the ground here, that's fine. Pull like your thigh in more underneath his shoulder. That's fine too. Now the hand can go towards his trap, and now we start the hip switch. My hip goes behind his tricep and is driving his arm here. Here. Now my hand comes down. So if you look, where we are more or less going to pin him to the position again. Now the hand comes to his opposite hip. And as we go back out, we put our head down, we find where his head is on this side, we're having this lace grip and we're pulling up now. Now from here, grab a hold of his neck, pull up, chop forward, and on bicep, push your elbows down. Now pull your inner elbow up towards the ceiling. If this is not working though, scrawl essentially, and then push your hips forward. And then the submission happens. Thank you. So what we'll do on Wednesday is we'll go back over the question and answer session. I already know one of the questions I'm going to hit, and they'll be the one that I actually hit first, and that's just going to be on the dorsal choke, just a few setups that I actually use and that I've learned from different people. But whatever other questions that you guys actually have, figured them out. 11:30 Wednesday, we'll actually go over that in no detail. All right, see you later.